Edmonton says goodbye to the CFR after 44 years.
Our city cracks the top 100 list of places to live in the world.
NAIT students relax with some furry friends.
Hello and welcome to Second Edition News. I'm Daryl Stranger.
And I'm Isabel Lumsden. Everyday Albertans got a hero's welcome at the Royal Canadian Humane Association's award ceremony.
This ceremony was held to recognize Albertans who have risked their lives to save others.
It's comforting to know that there are heroes among us who are willing to reach out and help.
The Lieutenant Governor presented the awards to the recipients. Some of the heroic acts included attempting to save a woman from a burning vehicle and saving a man from an oncoming train. Recipients say they are honored to be called heroes, even though anybody could have done it.
Proud, I guess.
Honored.
Yeah. Glad what I did.
Sort of blindsided too, because it's like something that we did would have been done anyways.
4 types of awards are handed out every year.
After 44 years, CFR organizers say Edmonton isn't ready to say goodbye to the CFR.
People to keep rodeo alive and well in Edmonton, Alberta.
This year at the rodeo, attendance went up by 3% compared to last year, but with the future of the Coliseum unknown, so is the future of the rodeo.
There's so many other cities in Canada, I think, spend decades trying to build an event like this, and we have one. It is the single largest annual tourism event we have, and I'm confident that with the strong showing that we saw this year, that we as Edmontonians will find a way to keep it in our city.
Collaborations with PBR at Rogers Place have been discussed for next year, but nothing is in the works yet.
The Butterdome was home to one of many Remembrance Day ceremonies around the city this past weekend. Thousands were on hand at the U of A Butterdome, including Mayor Don Iveson and the Honourable Lois Mitchell, to pay their respects Saturday. The ceremony included a playing of The Last Post and a reading of In Flanders Fields, as well as a touching song written and performed by Edmonton's own Rebecca Lappa. The ceremony ended with a laying of wreaths. Edmonton is being recognized as one of the best cities in the world.
Every year, the Residence Consultancy releases a list of the top 100 cities, and Edmonton cracked the top 60. Our Brendan Escott has more.
Unfortunately, when people think of Alberta, they think of Calgary typically.
Ask around the city and you get a sense that Edmontonians have a chip on their shoulder when it comes to their stomping grounds. Well, they can rest a little easier now as Edmonton finally received some proper recognition on the world stage. Residence Consultancy ranked Edmonton 60th best city in the world based on 6 individual categories, from our geographic placement to how we promote ourselves.
The city needs to focus on cultural vibrancy and nightlife. Those are critical to retaining young people here, particularly people graduating from institutions like NAIT, the U of A, attracting them and retaining them in the economy and making sure their skills are available.
Edmonton's rank was based largely on its proximity to the lucrative oil sands, Rogers Place and the revitalization of the downtown core, and the University of Alberta. Being renowned as the festival city helped as well.
Well, Edmonton's rank should certainly be viewed as a positive thing for the city's culture and economy. We were the last ranked Canadian city behind Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, Montreal, and Ottawa. Some citizens definitely feel there's room for improvement.
I would like to just have access to places like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.
Public transit. Yeah, I think they need to smooth out some of the details there.
I think maybe just like raising awareness about like the sorts of things that Edmonton offers is really important.
With the Ice District on its way to completion and the addition of the Valley Line LRT, it seems like Edmonton will be a mainstay on lists like this for years to come. For Second Edition News, I'm Brendan Escott.
The Art Gallery of Alberta is seeing a rise in young people visiting since lowering the costs to enter their galleries. The Art Gallery has made it free for youth 17 and younger and Alberta post-secondary students to enter. They have also made it free for anyone on Tuesday and Wednesday evenings from 5 to 8.
What we've noticed since we've increased, or since we've launched these increased access initiatives, is we've noticed that the diversity of people coming to the gallery has increased.
The art gallery plans on keeping the same fees for next year and will reevaluate after that.
The Tell Us World of Science launched its very own weather balloon and invited Edmontonians to witness the event.
3, 2, 1.
The balloon was launched as the main highlight for the second annual International Science Center and Science Museum Day. The public had the opportunity to write their name on streamers that were attached to the balloon as it rose into the air to its max of about 86,000 feet.
We just wanted to try something different, something big, something that is something we don't do every day to keep our guests and our members interested and coming here to see us.
The center attached instruments and a camera to measure pressure, wind speed, and altitude, as well as track temperature trends. They hope to share the data and video once the balloon is found.
Downward Dog stayed true to its meaning on Thursday at Puppy Yoga. About 50 students took part in NAITSA's first ever Puppy Yoga, which aims to help relieve the stress students feel during the busy months.
Everyone loves to cuddle with them. It helps relieve stress, and then yoga too is meant to kind of help de-stress people, so we thought combining them would be the best of both worlds. So especially since midterms are starting or wrapping up, we thought it would be good timing for this event.
All of the puppies are from the Humane Animal Rescue Team, and they are all adoptable.
Looks like there have been a lot of high-stakes games in sports recently.
Yeah, fall sports are starting to wrap up, so things got pretty intense this weekend.
That's right, guys. It's been a pretty exciting time for sports here in Edmonton. But first, let's check out some Ooks hockey. The Ooks maintained their near-spotless season this Saturday when taking on the Portage Voyageurs. The Ooks welcomed the Voyageurs to the NAIT Arena after defeating them on Thursday in Lac La Biche. But a slow start for the Ooks when Hunter Leishman buries one early in the period to make it 1-0 Portage. But they respond quickly with a one-timer by McKittiuk, making it 1-1. Both teams score one more apiece, making it 2-2 in the first when Pachonsky sneaks one in the back of the net. It's 3-2 Ooks. This little fan looks so excited he just can't stop dabbing. Okay, let's get going. Portage ties it up in the second. Now in the third, Sand passes the puck to Pachonsky and pokes it in for his second of the night. Now 4-3 Ooks. This guy looks like he could be a Portage fan. He doesn't look too happy. Late in the third, Brandon Ralph intercepts the pass and quickly buries it, making it 5-3 Ooks. The final score of the night was 6-3, thanks to Jake McKittiuk's second goal, who's leading the league with 17 points this season. Head coach Tim Fragel touches on what adjustments they made since the last time they played Portage.
We made a few adjustments on our power play. They play a T on the penalty kill, so we had to generate our shots from up top or outside.
Mixed emotions are what rodeo fans are feeling after the CFR's final day ever at the Northlands Coliseum on Sunday. It was hats off to 44 years at Northlands Coliseum on Sunday afternoon. The stands were packed with thousands of people who came to watch the last events take place. There were 7 different competitions, including saddle bronc riding, steer wrestling, and team roping. With a $1.5 million purse, competitors weren't there to mess around, including Clay Elliott, who took 4th place in saddle bronc riding. CFR may be over in Northlands, but this isn't stopping anytime soon for Elliott.
Here after the Canadian finals here, I got 3 weeks off. I'll get healed up and get in better shape, and then I got the national finals ready in Las Vegas.
As of right now, there's no specific venue for CFR to take place next year. Edmonton Eskimo fans won't be putting away their green and gold gear just yet, since the Eskimos have at least one more game to go. The Eskimos secured their position in the Western Division Finals on Sunday night after taking down the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in a 39-32 victory. CJ Gable had 2 touchdowns in the game, with his second one being in the 4th quarter, sealing the deal for the Eskimos. This is the Eskimos' 4th year in a row advancing to the division finals and will make it 27 years since the Blue Bombers won the Grey Cup. Coming up, we have the Eskimos going head-to-head with the Stampeders for the Western Final this Sunday at 2:30 p.m. And in the Eastern Division will be the Rough Riders taking on the Argonauts. The winners of the two divisions will face off on Sunday, November 26th for the 105th Grey Cup Final. Eskimos coach Jason Moss fills us in on how they prepare for the semifinals against Calgary.
They've done their part. I mean, they're good with taking care of the ball. They're good at taking it away. You have to beat them at that part of the game. That's first and foremost on our minds, is to win the ball security battle in this game.
The NAIT Ooks women's soccer team is resting up after the championships in Halifax this weekend. After a very successful season for the NAIT women's soccer team, they head to Halifax for the ACAC National Championships, where they crushed the Dalhousie Rams 9-0 in the bronze qualifier. And in the bronze semifinal again, they weren't letting anything pass them, defeating the Grand Prairie Wolves 2-0. But unfortunately, taking a heartbreaking loss to the Algonquin Thunder in the bronze medal match. 3-1 was the final score. The Ooks came in 4th in the championship and finished with a 9-1 regular season.
It's still such a great season for women's soccer this year. And let's hope those Eskies can pull their way into the finals.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that Battle of Alberta matchup. They're always so good.
Yeah, and if they perform the way they did against Winnipeg, I'm sure they have a great chance.
Yeah, and I hope we can see another performance like that from CJ Gable against the Stampeders.
That's been your look at Second Edition News.
Thanks for joining us.
Hi, and welcome to Cooking with Ernest. I'm your host, Stephen Smith, and I'm here with Chef Josh. Today we're making something that'll satisfy my sweet tooth. We're making lemon tarts.
Yeah, well, this is actually a cheater's version of lemon tarts.
So how is it a cheater's version?
Instead of making a custard base, we're actually going to be using condensed milk.
Oh, so it's sweet right out of the get-go here.
It is, yeah. And it's actually a very good vessel as a custard because it's already thick. So we're basically just going to be adding flavor ingredients and a little bit of egg just to help it set.
Okay, so we're going to be adding the lemon into it next.
Yes.
So are there any other bases that are really good with this, that if you wanted to try something else, something different?
Yeah, basically any citrus fruit will help. I've used berries as well, raspberry, blueberry. Basically any fruit that pairs well with the acidity and the sweetness.
Okay.
It actually works out really well.
All right, and then it's not like normal milk, condensed milk. You can keep whisking it and it's not gonna froth up.
Correct, no, it won't get any thicker. It'll actually get a little bit thinner because the more we whisk it, it's gonna get a little bit warmer just from the friction.
So you don't have to worry about it at all?
No.
So and it's just egg yolks we're adding?
Just egg yolks.
Okay.
Yep. So this one recipe will actually make one pie. I've changed it just a little bit for the smaller tarts that we've done. So it's a very, very versatile recipe actually.
So it'll make one whole 8-inch pie?
Yep.
That's excellent. So we're
gonna add it right into
the rest
here,
of this,
and then I'll let you do the pouring.
So we're gonna add it to
tart shells. Yeah, the tart shells I have here are just pre-made tart shells. You can actually use graham cracker crust. Any short dough recipe will work as well.
Graham cracker actually sounds really, really good. Got more of a crunch to it.
Yeah,
right?
It's basically just a play on texture.
So I want to fill this right to the brim, or just
right up, just to the base. Yeah.
Right to the base.
And then these will take just about 5 minutes in the oven since they're so small.
How long do you cook it for?
5 minutes for these. For a pie, it's about 25 to 20 minutes. You want to go just till there's a little bit of jiggle, and then it'll continue to set as it cools.
So it's a really, really short, quick recipe.
Very, very quick recipe.
Well, I can't wait to make these at home. For recipes like this and more, go to naitnewswatch.ca and click on the Second Edition tab. I have been your host, Stephen Smith, with Chef Josh, and thanks for joining us.